Hello guys and welcome to our channel. In today's video we are going to talk about something interesting yet very confusing, where we might see one of the greatest face-off between the great warrior Kang and one of the brilliant minds who might be doomed. Kang versus Richards. It's Doom or Richards. To completely understand it, let's dive into the new comic narrative, Timeless by Marvel. So sit back and relax as we dive in the timeless oceans of time itself and travel through time with none other than Nathaniel Richards, aka Kang the Conqueror. In the first page, we see Kang holding a spear and a person is narrating the story, where he says that this is not the moment I first met Conqueror, but it's the first time I began to understand him, where he adds by telling us his name as Anatoly Pertov. He tells us that he is a writer and a lecturer on superhuman studies at Moscow University. He was a companion of Kang at that time through his journey through time. And in the back we see that Kang is fighting a mammoth, and he tells that they are 15,000 years in the past, or rather in Ice Age. Then we come to the present, where Dr. Petrov is writing a book where he tells that he has crossed eternities with Kang and he has brought Dr. Petrov across all of human history in quest for challenge to any limit he has. But his wristwatch tells him that it's only been a week since he met with Kang, which practically means that no matter how long they spend together, it may be years and years, but in the present time, only 1 week has passed since they met with each other. Suddenly we see that someone calls him, and it's none other than Kang himself, and he greets Petrov by calling him one of the premier 21st century scholars on supervillainy, to which Petrov replies that he doesn't like titles, where Kang tells him that he likes titles, and he asks Petrov, "Do you know which title is my favorite?" And Petrov answers, "Conqueror." After this, Kang asks him that if he wrote in his book there is no figure in modern superhuman antagonism who has cast a longer shadow than he, to say that the 21st century is shaped by its heroes, but in how its so-called villains have shaped the century we live in. None other than has had such an impact as Doom. To which Dr. Petrov tells that he has just written it in his notes and not even in a manuscript for publishing a book. And of course, that book is not published yet. Kang says that book gets published and it will be a very successful book. Dr. Petrov then asks Kang that where he is going to kill him for that. To which Kang replies that no, he was there to offer him an experience that no one else can, and that he was there to change his mind. Then on the next page we are taken back to the past in the Ice Age era, where he was Kang's companion. Here he is narrating to us that it was the time he understood that Conqueror, and he tells that the human history was his banquet and opportunities to prove his excellence, and that Kang is the best adventurer Earth has ever produced. Kang has learned to master every field from best in existence, where Kang once told Petrov that he had participated in the first Olympic Games in 776 BC, and later he learned how to ride hovercycles in 2099. For Kang, nothing exists but the challenge. Then again we see Kang battling the mammoth, and behind in Petrov's narration we see that he tells Kang loves humanity and cherishes its accomplishment for rights and freedom, but his regard is for the species, life of the individual he cares not at all. And we see that Kang is very much beaten up by the mammoth, and the mammoth also has been inflicted with lot of damage as well. Dr. Petrov tells to the early humans that they should help him or he might die, but they say that they cannot aid God and God can never be killed, which means they consider Kang as a god in that time period. Soon we see that Kang succeeds in killing the mammoth with the spear he was using. In the background we see that Petrov's tail that this tribe's worship of Kang and their survival means nothing to him. Though killing this mammoth will serve their food for weeks, still he only does this as an excuse for the challenge and nothing else. Then suddenly, when Kang was enjoying his mammoth meal, his texts gave him warning about a chronicle anomaly, and they see that all the tribe that was there had vanished, or rather turned to bones and dusts. As Kang tells that there has been a timequake, and he tells that the future has become unstable. Something is exerting extreme chronicle gravity upon our timeline. Then we see that they teleport out from the time period and comes to an observation center, which is shielded from any chronicle disturbances and is located outside of time, just like the TVA. And the name of the facility is Oracle Base. Petrov asks Kang that could it be the great reckoning that you mentioned was coming, to which Kang replies, the Judgment Day? Possibly. The Eternals are a great power. The Kang asks a worker or servant in his lab to show him all the things that are happening in the timeline, to which the servant replies, there is a great chaos, master. Please see for yourself. Then we see all the current big events that are happening now across all the Marvel comic books are being shown, and Kang is observing all of them happening as they speak. Kang says these are things that are happening at various points across the timeline, but some of these things should not happen and others are moving in different directions that are anticipated. Then he asks the servant to divine cause of this anomaly, and he says the wild timeline has caused this. Kang sees the data and timeline is year 20,208, which was separated by Immortus 7 years ago. Now in comics, Immortus is the future self of Kang the Conqueror. Then we see that somebody has broken into Kang's facility, and they are Deathlocks, who are vermins of the timeline stream. Then on the next page we see a fighting sequence of Kang, where again in the background Petrov is saying his thoughts on Kang, where he tells that Kang doesn't have any bloodlust for killing, but without killing there is no conqueror, and he only does to prove himself as the best man, and for him killing is secondary to victory. So after this, does Kang meet Doom when he reaches in the future, or does he meet someone else? And does Kang defeat that person by killing him, or does that person have something else stored for Kang to defeat him? All these questions will be answered in our next video and upcoming chapter of Timeless. So guys, that's all from us for this video. Please do comment how you felt about the new comic narrative series Timeless. If you liked our video, then click the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, then do not forget to hit the subscribe button for more awesome content like this. So stay safe, stay curious, and stay nerdy. We'll meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.